I've been fighting bronchitis this whole week, so please forgive this video for its brevity.
To expect me to draw a moral line, I have to perceive a difference that I consider substantial. And I do not consider the difference substantial. Do you guys? No. Right. No. And that's really what matters. If it was made with AI, I'm completely okay with that because it was fun.
The evidence is that
it doesn't matter. Nobody really cares about this.
The lead developer has been very positive about AI in the past and made an AI game.
We're gonna play
called
this, by the way.
AI Art Imposter that lets an AI artist draw a picture. And so that was like one of the games.
We're gonna be playing this week.
Yes, just generally has been much more positive about some of the benefits of AI rather than what is the normal sentiment amongst artists and you know, I guess general Twitter population, which is that, you know, AI is bad and it takes jobs from people.
Well, AI and the sentiment from artists opinions don't matter. It just doesn't matter, because what matters is the opinion of the people that are buying the product. Like, it doesn't, like, your opinion on it, like, just because you do it doesn't, like, nobody cares. Like, it's not relevant. It's like whenever one of these, like, you know, really well-respected and really respectable directors talks about how bad Marvel is. Shut up, old man. Shut up. I like watching the Thor movie. It was cool.
This clip from Asmongold has been what is breaking the internet to a degree. The amount of takes, both good and bad, both rooted in reality and absolutely dog shit, out of this world impossible, is the source. This is the source of that. Now, Asmon is actually reacting to a Ludwig video, which I think is almost in a way kind of a perfect analogy to what we're going to be talking about today. And I do want to correct one thing. It seems like, and again, anything could be faked on the internet, so this could also be faked. However, it does appear that the person making the accusations that Palworld was using AI generative and stolen assets was actually doing so because they don't like the RPG cockfighting genre that Palworld, Pokemon, Dragon Quest monsters all fall into. And so I think that is personally very interesting, and especially if that's true, this just only, I think, exacerbates one of the key problems that we're going to be having as humans and in a world of AI. What does this look like? And it's the goal of this video to actually give you guys a solution to this problem, or at least propose a solution that we can debate, we can discuss, and we can talk about the impacts of this, because I think there are solutions. However, I don't think boycotting is going to do anything that you want, because the rule is going to be, as it always has been, if the game is fun, people are going to play it. Because the reality that we all have to accept is that you, me, people watching this video, we're the minority. We're the engaged minority. The vast majority of gamers don't follow, don't care, don't know. They just go and pick up the game that people are talking about. And that's what boycotting actually more or less does, is it gets people talking about it. In fact, PETA today tweeted out about Palworld, and that's only going to lead to more Palworld sales, hands down. But I did say I wanted to talk a bit about the reaction piece of this, because Octavius tweets out, this guy's whole career is using other people's content to react to it. He never built anything of his own, and he's the definition of a leech, a parasite. He's writing off the backs of thousands of artists that create stuff so that he can sit mildly react to it for a profit. Useless. Now, I find this to be absolutely super interesting, because I have actually personally asked Asmongold not to react to my content, or at least at a minimum give it a week or 2 weeks, just so he doesn't kill my video in the algorithm. If you don't think reaction content kills videos, like, that is actually the real reality of it, and anybody who gets reacted to multiple times eventually actually comes out with that reality. The first time it's usually like, oh my gosh, this famous person recognized my video and he watched it and it exposed me to a wider audience. But then ultimately you run into the situation where people will actually wait for Asmon's reaction if he reacts to you repeatedly, rather than just watching the source video, and thus he wins because he's got the bigger number, and that is what reaction content wants: bigger numbers and the reality behind it. And in a way, this is proving the point that Asmon is making in his clip, is that the market is actively asking for reaction content. The solution is YouTube needing to give creators the tools to do a revenue share or do some various different other things, some kind of engagement share towards their source video, so the algorithm actually boosts it up, because that's what people are watching and talking about. There's many different ways this can go, but unfortunately the solution all is with YouTube, and we can just keep asking for these kind of tools, and we will. Anyway, the point is that there is a huge demand for reaction content. I make reaction content, but my rules is I reach out to the creator, especially if they're a smaller or mid-sized creator, and get permission. For the bigger creators who the video's been out for plenty of time, I kind of make an exception, but I also do those things very, very rarely. I personally don't like reaction content as your source thing. I think you should be making more original content, and then a reaction content piece can find a way to work. But that's just, again, my personal stance on it. And that's what I usually end up asking people to give my videos at least a week or more, so that way, before they kind of, they don't get swallowed up by some bigger creator just taking advantage of the work that I've put into these videos. Now, beyond that aspect, though, that's where I want to kind of get into a proposed solution, because Joker says, how? He's not wrong. I say this as an artist against AI. Some perspective, everyone knows the electronic source materials that are mined in third world countries under horrible conditions. Everyone knows the cocoa industry is still slave labor. People still buy batteries and chocolate and iPhones and cell phones. The cobalt that is used to mine the very technology that you're probably writing an angry comment to me on was done under horrible, horrible conditions. Taking a moral high stance is fine, and I'd actually encourage, and I want to encourage people to do so. Just don't clout chase after it, because talk is cheap, and that's where I get frustrated, especially when it comes to the likes of Twitter and X, because all I saw all day long were just countless threads of people frustrated that Asmongold would have the gall to say this, taking it as a personal offense to their worldview. Like Narkmac here says, artist opinions don't matter. Love the arrogant people who will embrace AI content because it doesn't affect them. He definitely would be complaining if somebody was watching AI streamers something instead of him. And that's actually also something that is happening, especially when it comes to AI influencers. So much is being faked. I wonder if we're going to end up seeing more of a push into the real world, because we won't know what we're watching, if these were the words actually spoken by a human being, if this was the content and the view of somebody who actually exists out in the reality. Time will ultimately tell, and we know there's plenty of chronically online people who will just live and breathe and be the market. They're just going to consume. Now, here's the point, and one of the things that when I see a lot of people making the assumptions, Asmongold isn't saying that your opinion doesn't matter, especially if you're an artist. I'm an artist. I make cartoons. I do all kinds of very artistic things. I get paid for some of it, and I don't get paid for all of it, but that's just the nature of being an artist. On an individual one-on-one level, yes, somebody can care for you. Somebody can care for me. But when this gets extrapolated into tens of thousands of nameless, faceless people, anybody who is going out and saying that they care for the plight of this blob of people that you can't possibly know on any intimate level, that is just virtue signaling. That is just clout chasing at its best degree. And the internet is full of this. And you might be saying, Brian, you're making a video about Asmongold. Aren't you clout chasing as well? And at the end of the day, nobody puts out anything on the internet publicly that they don't want people to see. I'm not hitting publish on this video and hoping it goes into a void. I'm hitting publish on this video and hoping that we can have a real life discussion on it. And I think essentially, like, you could classify like anything I do as clout chasing, because I do like attention, but I'm honest about that. I love it that you're here. I love it if you hit that like button, or you can always double tap the dislike button. That works too. But the point I'm making here is that I suspiciously doubt anybody actually truly stands behind their words, because time and time again, if they do try and take a stance, it doesn't actually mean they're not playing the game. It means they go on the attack. They start like harassing people who are having fun, whether these are streamers, content creators, or other gamers, and they only end up making the Streisand effect a reality for these games and these products. And so I say to you, you need to understand the ramifications of your choice and your moral obligation, and I stand by you if you feel like any game that uses a generative AI is a moral problem. You have that power. Just don't go and put kerosene on it. Otherwise, you're going to work against your own self-interest and thus bring about the thing that you are so worried about and fighting over. And then if you're also going to take that stance, like, you should make sure that you extrapolate that out to the very things that you're using to communicate. If you don't like what you hear, that's perfectly fine, but I'm just going to call you back to reality for just a minute. Now, at the start of this video, I said I have a proposed solution. And the solution is something that I feel that you can actually take action on. Action is way better than words. So all these people who are saying these words, I hope that this video gets shared to them and they make it to this part of it, and then they stop talking and actually start doing. You need to write to your leaders, whether they are congressmen, senators, I don't care who they are. And you need to advocate, you need to raise your voice that we should be able to own our data. Now, the reason why this has to happen at a governmental level is that, let's say an AI or anything like that was trained up on images that you have created. If you owned your online data, you would be entitled to a cut of that. However, you don't have the bandwidth to truly go out and figure out what's all used your data. We've been just giving it to these companies for free all this time. And I think that's why laws need to be implemented and taken effect so that as a base, you could kind of consider this a tax against those who are using this technology. And then that tax then gets distributed out to the population who has been the source of this data farm. I'm not the first guy to propose this. If you guys ever heard of Andrew Yang, the guy had this down pat. We should own our data. It is being used. It is the new gold of the 21st century. It is the new oil rush, and we are giving it away for free. I think if that changed and we ended up getting some level of kickback facilitated because of these big companies utilizing and mining this data, then the sting of creating art and generative AI, I think, becomes less and less. Now, you might also think that you can go about, it'll be interesting to see the copyright laws and what ends up happening. So I would advise you, that is probably the best way to go about it. So pick what you think is the best solution and take action on that solution. But if you're just retweeting and posting and that's all that you're going to say and do, well, your opinion is absolutely worthless. And good luck with your clout, good luck with your chase, good luck with the attention that it's going to afford you. I'm sorry, but we have to deal with the reality of markets, and time again, the market will bear what the market will bear. And if you don't like how that sounds, you might need to watch this video again. Anyway, guys, that's it for me in this random pickup video for tonight. I thought this was an interesting topic. I look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comments. You can always get more involved over on the channel. You can check the top link if you want to get in the Discord. Check out all the Instagram and Twitter and all that stuff. Content for days, guys, if you're looking for more. Otherwise, I just wish you all the very best. Thank you, and shout out to Riding Eating Gaming for sponsoring the channel for this month, thus removing mid-rolls from these videos. So hopefully all of you guys enjoyed. So be sure to thank Riding in the comments, or consider becoming a member yourself. And I really do appreciate your support, because as an artist, I am working on making my own game, and the money that I make off of YouTube is helping to fund that project. All right, guys, that's pretty much going to wrap it up for me. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully I'll see you in the next one. But until then, take care.